Hello, hello, everybody. Hopefully, y'all can hear me. I don't even know. Let's see. This should be interesting. Audio. Yep, we should be good. Yep, we're good. Okay. Hi, everybody. How are you? Oh, man, it has been a day. How is everyone doing? Hey, Ash on YouTube. Hello, hello. I am hanging in there. I am wrapping up my book. I'm about how many words am I away from being done? I'm about a little over 7,000 words away from being done, or at least having enough words that it's a decent manuscript. Now, whether or not I decide to go in there and add more is debatable, but I'm also a little anxious to get this book out. So um, there's definitely going to be a volume 2. It's just going to happen. It's volume 2. Oh yeah, so I got a new shirt from Hinsdale House thanks to Dan Class. He sent this over as a little present, so I figured I would wear it tonight, supporting Hinsdale House tonight. So yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So I've been waking up early a lot lately because I tend to be sharper in the mornings. Um, because after my workday, I don't know. After my workday, I'm kind of useless. I'll be honest. Yeah, I'm a little useless after 5 o'clock these days. It's been interesting, especially this week, and I'm not quite sure exactly why. I have some theories. I went to Gettysburg on Gettys, yes, it's Gettysburg. I went to Gettysburg on Saturday, and I did an impromptu investigation in this area called Iverson's Pits, which is apparently one of the original haunted sites of Gettysburg. So, think I brought something home with me. Think I brought someone home. So, gonna explore that a little more. So, and I've just been feeling really drained this week, even with my normal boundaries, my usual like things that I do, like grounding, shielding, and everything. Think I think something came home with me. I'm not sure. It's just been really weird. Like I've been oddly fatigued this week, like extremely fatigued. And the brigade that was the brigade that was primarily affected at Iverson's Pits was North Carolina. These were North Carolina boys. And during my communication session with them, I brought up, hey, we lived in North Carolina. Where are you from? And I was bringing up all these cities and brought up Wilmington, which was very prominent for Iverson's Pits. Wilmington, Raleigh, Durham, Dunn, Zebulon, all these towns. And my husband is originally from North Carolina too. And my husband's a vet, so veteran. So I'm kind of wondering if something did come around. I'm not sure, but my husband also got his first paranormal hangover after that. He didn't actively participate in the investigation, but he was standing nearby. He also farted, and I was downwind of his fart. So I'm trying to like talk to, ghosts, and I get this awful smell of rotten eggs, and it's my husband. That's what I get for taking him to Tommy's Pizza before that. Tommy's Pizza is really good, though. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's going on. I've been debating doing a Phasmabox session just to see if maybe we can ID this guy, if there's anyone there. I'm not sure though. I would definitely have to switch mics if we did that. Um, yeah, so when I was living in North Carolina, I was extremely frustrated because there was a lot of good spots for like investigations, but North Carolina seems to have like a turf war going on, at least in the paranormal community, I've noticed. There are lots of teams that have like exclusive contracts with a lot of the locations there. So it was really hard to find like decent places to investigate because another team would have like its stamp on it. Um, or it's just very competitive for space, which is kind of ridiculous. But I did find a few places in North Carolina that I would go there on the regular. I mean, the Trivet Clinic, the location I wrote the book about, Trivet Clinic, very popular spot. It's turning into a popular spot now. That's also very accessible. Um, there's a lot going on in North Carolina that's spooky. So let's see. Hey, Donna. Nice to see you. Yeah. So, yeah, North Carolina's got a lot. It's got a lot. Virginia does too. And what I really like about Virginia, um, what I like about Virginia is there are so many locations. There's so many locations that are so accessible to people. So, like, I think I've investigated more locations in Virginia than I have in in the 9 years that I've been in North Carolina. So, I really like Virginia. There's a lot of options there. I mean, there's Fleetwood Church, Hanover Tavern, Graffiti House. I think there's another location opening up, Hamilton High School. Cabin on 360, like a lot of stuff around the Richmond area, I've noticed. Like there's a lot of different options that I'm really digging. Um, I just haven't really had time to explore them because I'm getting into busy season with my events. So, speaking of that, I will be in Richmond area, Glen Allen next week for RavenCon. That's my second event of the year. I was supposed to go to another one in Raleigh, Illogic no, Retcon. I was supposed to go to Retcon, but then things happened. I couldn't go. Uh, Marin, what do you mean is Virginia closed like NC? Like closed for locations? Because I would say, at least in my experience, the Virginia paranormal community too has been very welcoming and very like, hey, come check out our place. Um, Made a lot of friends in Virginia in the paranormal community around here. Didn't make quite so many friends in North Carolina, which is interesting. I do have a couple of teams in North Carolina that I'm cool with that do events as well. And Great State Paranormal, definitely go support them. Carolina Association of Paranormal Studies, too. Good people. So, um, oh, yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, there's definitely a lot more available locations in Virginia. Absolutely. And also, I mean, there's also the areas of Virginia like Western Virginia. I'm in Northern Virginia, and I know my north, south, east, west. Um, yeah, definitely. There's definitely a lot of good options in Virginia, and I've just scratched the surface. Center for Paranormal Research. I think they're a nonprofit, and they got a lot of good locations that they've investigated. Hanover Tavern, Hanover, Virginia, really good spots. And Transcend Paranormal, I think they're the group that kind of oversees that. I think so. Um, yeah, so I know Steve Dills is on the board for Hanover Tavern, which is why there's a big paranormal presence there, which is amazing. Um, oh, RavenCon, yeah, oh my gosh, the fair, yeah, what's the ferrets like? What's their group's full name? I'm trying to remember. Can't remember. My brain is like right now. Man, so I've gotten like one more batch of books to wrap up this book. I mean, I'm like 8,000 words away from being done, and I'm still finding books for nefarious ferrets. Thank you, nefarious ferrets. Thank you. That's what the group is called. Big words tonight are hard. But yeah, so I'm about. Let me do some math really quick. I'm about yeah, 7,200 words from being done with this book, and I'm still getting books. Like I'm still getting research material. Um, the Library of Congress was a huge game changer with my research and getting a lot more information. And I mean, and most of you know by now, I'm working on a book about women of the paranormal. Can I show this book cover? Media slot? We're just going to learn as we go, everybody. This should be fun. Um, Move layer. No, no. Okay, maybe not. I'm learning StreamYard as we go, everybody. Um, hey, John. How are you? Uh, yeah, so I'm working on this book about women of the paranormal, and I started off with 12, and I thought, man, I'm really gonna have to stretch some word counts here, and this book might be less than 50,000 words. I mean, because 50,000 is about the standard like book length. Um, and I'm sitting here like freaking out because I'm like, oh man, I don't think this may be a novella. Like, I'm not sure. And now I'm at, I think my last count, I'm at like 65 women now. They're not all going to be in in volume one. There's definitely going to be a volume two. But I've had to make some really difficult choices as to like, okay, what information is available? Could I find more information if I just look in different places? Or can I just not find any information at all? So I made some choices. If there was a potential for more information, but I just couldn't get it yet, then I moved that woman to volume two so I can have more time. Um, and now I think for this book, I'm going to have probably 30 to 40 women, which isn't bad. I mean, because I don't want to reinvent the wheel, because a lot of these women already have biographies written about them. I don't want to regurgitate biographies. I just want to basically do like a high level overview of their early life, how they got involved in spooky research and what they did. So I'm trying to keep it between like 1 to 3,000 words per woman. Because the idea is these are introductions, like these are introductions to these women of the paranormal, so that you as the reader would be like, oh hey, this woman seems interesting, I'm going to do more research. Because like I said, I don't want to reinvent the wheel with when there's so like Alexandra David Neal, she's in the book, countless biographies about Alexandra David Neal. But a lot of people, some people don't know she exists, so I'm like, I'm gonna gotta put her in there. um, and I do have some more modern women in there as well. Copyrights for photos, though, is going to be a bit tricky because I can't just take a photo off the internet and put it in the book. I can get a photo of Alexandra David Neal and put it in the book because, hey, copyright's expired. So yeah, so this book has been a true labor of love. Um, I feel like it's going to be good. I hope so. I hope so. Hey, Canadian Paranormal Investigations, Glenn, how are you? Hey, Rory, I'm good. I'm just kind of lamenting where I'm at right now. I'm wrapping up the Women of the Paranormal book. Yeah, a nice novella would not be bad. Volume two may end up being a novella. All my problem children are going in volume two. Like as soon as I hit more than like 3 roadblocks with a woman, I'm like, nah, you're going to volume two. So, um, yeah. But yeah, so because I've been finishing up this book, I have content that I want to film. Like I totally have plans. Um, I just haven't had time to film because I'm like, well, I could write or I could film. And right now, I'm writing. And today I've done about almost 2,000 words today. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take a break and I'm going to go live and chat with you all. But yeah, I can talk about my little Gettysburg thing. I wonder, let's do a sound test. Contest because I'm curious about you all care. Because if we can chat box, maybe we can do a session and maybe we can see if I brought anyone home from Gettysburg on Saturday. Let's see. No, that. I just want fast box. All right. Close some things. All right. Closing Scrivener, my writing tool. Yeah, Gettysburg is pretty awesome. I've been debating planning. Of course, the internet's going to be stupid. Right now. That's great. Yeah, I'm not so our internet has been acting a bit weird lately, like this past week. I'm not quite sure why. It's been a little frustrating because I've dropped many meetings this week. Okay, so we're going to try to do a little bit of a sound test here. I'm going to change my settings. Got to change my audio settings. All right. Actually, yeah, it could be. It's very bizarre. Well, I think a lot of it too has to do with Xfinity, because like I said, our internet has been not so fantastic this week. They're also doing construction across the street. That's weird. Why? That's weird. Goodness, everything is. No? Oh, wait, there we go. Okay. All right. Maybe this. Yep. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess that's not going to happen. That is so weird. Wow. Yes. Yeah, I guess we're not going to be able to do this Phasma box session because it's not going to happen. Because I don't know if it's StreamYard or what, but no, it's not a loose cord. I test everything before we go. That's so weird. A little frustrating, but no, everything's tight. And I work in IT, so this is what I do. Let's try again. Testing. 1, 2. Well, okay then. We shall not be using this. That is very weird. Oh well. Yeah, I'm sure that the sound stopped again. It's one of those that's really weird because this worked just fine before I went live and tested it. Yeah, that is what it is. I guess we won't be able to do a Phasma box session because well, I could play with one more thing, but I can't promise that this microphone's going to pick up on anything that comes out of Phasma box. That's the only problem. let's try again. But Phasmobox won't even load. I tried loading it and then it crashed, which Phasmobox does not crash on me. Okay, let's try this. So, okay, radio off. Audio. No. Okay, let's try that. That is a very delightful test. Can you all hear? Uh-oh. Could you all hear that music? Well, Dixie, I talked quite a bit about what I'm working on, but that's also not important. Y'all hear the music. Okay. Okay. Cool. All right, let's give this a try. I just don't know how good this is going to be, so this might be a fail. Let's try it. Nope, it's being fed through. Now it's going into my headphones. Oy. I might just have to give up. this is going to be way too complicated. That is so weird. All right, let's try this one more time. I am not a spooky live streamer at all. But usually this setup works when I'm doing my remote stuff. Hey, Aaron. I'm also incredibly tired right now, so I'm also like not having it either. Waking up at 4:30 a.m. is catching up on me, catching up to me. Right there. All right. Okay. All right, there we go. There we go. Okay. I just don't know how loud this is going to be. Well, that sounded weird. Already, I heard laughing immediately. That was fun. Are you messing with my stuff? Investigation. Yes, I am doing an investigation. For proving. Let me know if y'all can hear what's coming out of the Phasma box. It's quiet right now. Barely. Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, if y'all can't hear it, then it's not worth it. So we'll go ahead and stop it. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, it is what it is, y'all. So unfortunately, because this microphone's not working, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess we're not going to do it. It's not worth the stress right now. So I guess instead ask me some questions. I'm definitely going to have to continue that conversation though, because something was definitely going on. Heard some interesting things in there. Okay, just dated the one audio clip I got. I wonder if I moved the stream to my phone, would it be better? If I can even do that. Nope, I need to let it go. I need to let it go. If I keep trying to figure it out, I'm just going to stress myself out. Yeah. So yeah, feel free to ask me any questions you got. This is why I don't live stream investigations or any sort of spirit communication. It's it becomes more about the like making sure things work for the audience instead of like the actual encounter, which that's the only thing I've noticed whenever I do any sort of live streaming with my investigations. I stop focusing on the actual like spirit that wants to talk to me, and then it turns into me talking to people, which so Phasmobox is a software. If you Google it, it will pop up. I can get you a link right now. It's through a company called Extreme Senses Software. It's essentially a phenom generator. Oh, that's on Facebook. Oop, let me change my thing. There we go. It's a phenom generator. So you'll get like, and it's used in ITC communication. So um, it's not connected to a radio, so it's not spirit. It's not like your traditional spirit box. It's interesting. I don't use the sound banks. I don't use like the Latin things. I basically just keep it to phenoms. I don't do like any of those things that could jeopardize the quality of it. So, and I'm not a big fan of Ovulus because of the word bank. If I ever do use an Ovulus, I'll usually put it in reverse phonetic mode. So, and again, this is all ghost theory. It's supposed to read the environments of the spirits and give them a channel to communicate. Again, ghost theory. Can I prove it? No. It's just another tool that, I'll use in my investigations and see just to see what comes through and if it lines up with like the history of the place, the location. Yeah. Um, so this is a loaded question. I mean, I don't know what the rules of the afterlife are. Um, like I don't know if like could a psychic medium trap a spirit, or can someone who is in the occult, can they trap a spirit? I do know people who are into that type of stuff, who do magical practices that trap spirits. I'm not sure. I guess you could. I mean, I don't know. I don't know for sure. Like I said, this is all ghost theory. Personally, I don't think so. At least not with the Philip experiment, because the Philip experiment was totally man-made. Um, and what do we know about the spirit world that we could create something that could trap a violent ghost? And yeah, I'm not. That's a very deep question. I'm not quite sure how to answer that because of the parameters that I know with the Philip experiment, but also what's the violent ghost? Like, is it a is it believed to be the spirit of a person that's passed? Is it more like a poltergeist where it's an external manifestation of the human mind? Like, I guess I would need more information on what the violent ghost was before making a firm judgment call. All right, Henry. Why do you think some people who want to see or experience something paranormal or ghostly never do? Is there a spiritual reason for that? I kind of wish I did somewhere, but not at my house. That's an interesting question. I'm, that's a good question. I'm not sure. Um, I do know a few people who want to see something and they're in this world because they want to experience and see something and never do. And when I talk to them, they still have some sort of reservations, like, I want to see a spirit, but not if it's scary. Or I want to see a spirit, but I don't want to see them. I want to hear them instead. Or they set up like these limitations and these parameters. Um, and a lot of times, again, ghost theory. Um, I've heard of people doing meditations, intense concentration, that sort of thing, to open up different channels of their psyche to be able to experience something, or just putting like a vibe out there, um, that, hey, I do want to have an experience. But it also depends on where you're going. I mean, if you're depends where you are, where you live. I know there was one friend's house that I visited who, hang on, I have a cat that's wailing. BRB. Uh, okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I have a cat that's not doing too well health-wise, so when she's making noise, I have to go check on her. Mm. So I do have a friend who lives in a house that basically came with like barriers. Um, yeah. So, and plus you could, and again, this is ghost theory. Y'all, just anytime you ask me for advice or insight, please know that this is all ghost theory. Um, I'm not gonna claim that I'm right or I know for certain because I don't. Uh, I don't. Uh, there could be a situation going on where maybe you have an ancestral spirit that's really protecting you. I know sometimes when I'm on an investigation that's incredibly stressful, my mom will come in and then I experience nothing and I have to literally tell my mom to back off. So that could be another thing. That could be another reason. John Doe, shadow figure. Oh, this is it from the violent ghost comment. Um, John, can you give me a little bit more context because shadow figures could mean a lot of different things. Like, has this shadow figure been violent at all, and like, what has it done? Would be my question. Yeah, Ash. Actually, yeah, you've said perfectly what I wanted to express. Some people may be closed off. I mean, I know after my whole car accident situation, I was closed off for a bit. So. Still trying to open myself back up. um, I surround an aura of white light. Wow, I am tired. We're definitely gonna wrap at 9. I surround myself in an aura of white light, so nothing can harm me. After that moment or series of moments, I suppose I became invested. It's interesting. Hey, Naomi. Devin, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Ash, but maybe, I mean, maybe some ghosts just want to. Yeah, that's the other thing. That's the other thing. Yeah, you're right. There's no absolutes with ghost theory. Like we just can't prove it. And I say this with any mediums as well. I mean, I know some fantastic mediums who communicate with spirit, and some of them have blown me away with who they've contacted. But at the end of the day, I don't think any of us really, really know. Um, yeah. So. Good. I'm glad. Yeah, it's one of those things where I was blocked off for quite some time and I still get blocked off and I know sometimes it has to do with me, like what's going on with me, or it could be my mom, causing some issues. Yeah. Yeah. So, good questions. Really good questions. I better not be getting sick. I will not be pleased if I am, especially with a convention next week. Or it's allergies. Yeah, ever since I got back from Gettysburg, my husband and I did a day trip, and then I did that little impromptu investigation at Iverson's Pits. And after that, literally, I've been going to bed at like, except for tonight, I've been going to bed at like 7:30 and waking up, but also waking up stupid early, like waking up at like 5 and 5:30, and I'm like, this isn't my normal routine. Yes, I have, Darren. I have. There's one in, I think, my first video about my haunted doll. But I've also heard my name said on the spirit box. I've heard my name verbally spoken. Not sure if it was a spirit, but yeah. Ooh, Dennis, the Farnsworth is a great location. Very, very good place. Um, yeah, but so we drove home. So we just did a day trip. Like we left in the morning, came back in the evening, and then the next day, my husband's like, I am so tired. And I'm like, I'm really tired too. Like, and I'm like, this feels like paranormal hangover. Like, I know this feeling. I'm like, it's paranormal hangover. We only investigated for about an hour. We weren't, and it was mainly me. Like, I just turned the Phasma box on and just started talking, and that was it. That was it. And I'm like, okay. Heard some things, heard some good things, and so it wasn't like we were up all night doing an investigation, but it felt like that. It felt like we were up all night. So, um, yeah, it was. My gosh, it was. It ended up being more than I thought it was going to be. So I don't know. It's oh man, I just would have no idea where to even begin to try to figure that out. But I figured, I'll do Phasm Box and see. Um, yeah. Oh my gosh. Charlie is like, what year are we in? There's actually way more. There's other tools that we could use for like yes nos. I mean, really, that's what it is. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Sure, why not? I mean, I have like 5 Ouija boards, but the only problem is I can't find anyone nearby willing to do it with me. And if it's just me doing the Ouija board, it's the iodometer effect is very real. So let's see. 2 really good EVPs from the Farnsworth now that I've tripled. Yeah, I've never stayed there overnight, but I visit there often, and I eat at Sweeney's Tavern all the time because I like Sweeney's Tavern. They got good food. Um, Henry, maybe how about you do the Ouija board and your Charlie challenge, and maybe you can have that experience with the spirit. If you haven't had one yet. Yeah, but Charlie, man, I haven't heard that one in years. I was actually a teacher when that really well, okay, Charlie came up. It's a long time ago. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. Long, long time ago. I remember I was writing for a YouTube channel called The Richest, and I remember they wanted me to do a video on the Charlie challenge, but I ended up doing more I ended up doing more debunking of the Charlie challenge than actually doing anything spooky, but my job still published it. I was very impressed. I was like, "Oh, okay." Um yeah, because there's a whole thing of like pattern detection and validation. It gets very sciency, especially with like, yeah, it gets very sciency. So so. Oh, hey, Brian, how are you? Oh my goodness, good. It's good to see you. Good to hear from you. Oh my gosh. No, I didn't get a chance to go to Mortimer, unfortunately. All right. Hey, Teresa. Hey, from the UK. Ooh, you are up late. You are up late. Oh yeah, Octagon Mansion. Yeah, yeah. Lots of Civil War. It's so funny living in San Diego. A lot of the hauntings and everything there had a lot to do with had a lot to do with like indigenous, First Nations, which makes sense, because colonization happened, Spaniards and everything. San Diego, yeah. Um, yeah, Brian, let me know. Keep me posted. Therese, Fiona, and Patricia. That is interesting. I personally don't know those. I mean, I have an aunt, but she is still very much alive, named Patricia. Fiona. Hmm, I don't know. I don't have, and even So like Patricia's not directly related to me. She's married into the family, but I don't have a Fiona or a Patricia in my family either on either side. Holy cow. Huh. That's interesting. No, that's interesting you're picking up on those names. All right, favorite paranormal device to use. Really, I like to use a good old audio recorder. Good old audio recorder and a notebook. How often do you hear about office buildings being haunted in the past or have a past coworker? Believe it or not, I don't really talk about my paranormal stuff at work. Um, there was one there was one job where they did know, and most of them were freaked out. Like they wouldn't talk to me. So I just from then on I just decided I'm not going to share that part of my life. If someone finds it, cool, but yeah, no, I don't talk about paranormal stuff at work. Because also I don't know where people stand on that. So it's just easier to just not say anything. And plus I like to have friends at work. So, how do you discern versus what? Oh, thanks, Ash. Yeah, so this is a good question. So, Spirit Box, so absolutely record everything. Even when you're doing like the Estes method, the whole blindfold, Spirit Box on headphones, that sort of thing. If you use an aux Y cable, um, but all with two female parts, one male part. You could actually use two aux cables and put one in the headphone jack so you can still hear it. And then you could connect the other one into the mic jack and then connect that to your audio recorder so that you can record the output of the Spirit Box. So I find that sometimes what I hear in real time, which is interesting because this goes into like, okay, well, why did I hear that? So sometimes when I'm listening in real time, I'll think I hear something and I'll respond to it, and then I listen to the recording and that didn't come out at all. Like even on Saturday I thought I heard someone say, hey, thanks, and I'm like, oh, you're welcome, but then I went back and I didn't record the audio, but I live streamed it, so it was recorded on my phone. So I went back and watched the video, and that "Hey, thanks" that I thought I heard did not come out. So I'm like, "Okay, so why did I hear that? Was it because I was listening too hard and I created like word salad in my head?" There is a very yappy dog outside. Um, or did something else happen? Or I don't know. It's like, well, why? It's so weird. Like, why did I hear that? And then I listened to the recording and it's like, meh. Um, it's like, it's so frustrating when that happens too, because, I get so like excited when I think I hear something intelligent out of like a spirit box or phasma box. And then I listen to the recording and it's like, burp, 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 burp. And I'm like, okay, why did I hear thank you from that? So, good times, good times. um, yeah. I have yet to have a paranormal experience. I think Ouija boards, I mean, I got one right over here. I think Ouija boards um, I think Ouija boards can be a tool. To answer that question, Henry, very short, yes. Um, Ouija boards are a tool, and it's how you use them. Now, for me, I've only had out of the dozens and dozens and dozens of times I've used a Ouija board, I've had maybe two remarkable experiences. And remarkable meaning like, oh, I think my mom may have come through, or hey, I think grandpa came through. I'm not sure. Um, but besides that, I haven't had much of an experience. Now, there are people who go into Ouija board sessions absolutely terrified of them, and then they'll have a terrifying experience. So I feel like you get what you put into it, if that makes sense. The energy you put in is what you receive back. Yeah, that's the other thing too. There has to be some trust. Now, other ways that I've used the board would be not having the person directly involved with the questioning touching the board. So say, you know, I'm asking the questions, there's two people on the board, and then they start to spell my grandmother's name. And then there's no way they would know what my grandmother's name was. That would be interesting. Now, I've found though that by doing that, I've greatly reduced any sort of hits, you know what I mean? So I have a theory, and other people have this theory too, that when you have someone directly involved touching the planchette, it causes people to, and this is the idiometer, idometer, idiometer effect. It becomes more rampant because people are inadvertently moving the planchette to answer questions that they already know the answers to. So, hey Sherry, Sherry, you ready to beta read my book? It's almost done. It's almost done. Almost done. Y'all, when I'm done with volume 1 of this book, I am gonna be so happy. I would say I would drink, but well, I don't drink that much anyway. Alcohol doesn't have that same hit on me anymore. uh, wow. And okay, let's see. Well, what I'll do is after I'm done here, I'll try to do another way to set up my tech, and if I have to record it on my phone, I will. But I'll try to do another session. I'll try to do like another Phasmabox session because I am curious as to who is here chatting or who's here who came home with me from Saturday, if someone came home with me. I'm curious because I'm going back to Gettysburg on Saturday, and we're gonna drop them off. We're gonna be like, hey, take you home and put you back. Because that's what we do. All right, got time for a couple more questions. We're at about 12 minutes away from closing. Yeah, sorry this was a hot mess, y'all. I was hoping that I could at least maybe do a Phasmabox session and have you all listen. And as I was trying to figure out who the heck is here, but it didn't work out. Besides knocks and bangs, we have to perceive them somehow. That's why I think they growl or manifest at your worst nightmare, because they know it's an internal response to be afraid to attack your mind. That's possible. For the most part, I've had very positive experiences with spirits. I've had the one, the negative one with what is with the one bed over story. I've had a couple negative, but for the most part, it's been very positive. Pancakes or French toast? Pancakes. Oh, good night, Teresa. Thank you for stopping by. And I'll look into the Fiona and Patricia names, and I'll let you know if it pops up tonight. I'm intrigued by that, by the way. So now, Sherry, you got me hungry. Mm, yeah. And Henry, the reason why I was short with this is because there's history there. So then I'd rather not get into that history. If you know, you know. If people know, they know. And if they don't know, it should stay that way. There's history. Um, let's see. What? Oh, nice. Breakfast for dinner is awesome. I have always been a fan of that, breakfast for dinner. Um, and it's cheap too, especially with grocery bills being so high these days. It's like, um, yeah, yeah, good times. I'm looking at my Twitter. Yay! I'm glad, Willa. Yeah, tonight was a little bit of a hot mess. I had a whole plan, and then so And it doesn't help either that I'm tired. So that's okay. Um, hopefully I'll be a little bit more prepared next time. But I'm hoping to have an actual video next week. But it may still end up being a live video. It really depends how far I get with finishing this book. Because after I finish the book, I'm going to go back and because I didn't do this in the beginning. I didn't put in all my sources right away, so I have to go in there and input my sources, which is going to be fun. Um, and then I'm just going to do like a first round editing on my side, and then I'm going to send it to the beta readers. Um, so Sherry, get ready. Um, and the beta readers, they're technically not doing any proofread or anything like that. It's just basically like, how does this book? How was your experience reading this book? Did you enjoy it? And also sending the chapters to the appropriate parties to make sure I get like the the um, the accuracy, the lives of these women correctly. I can't do it for every chapter, but for like Rosemary Ellen Guiley or Eileen Coley, Frances Bolton, those women who have living relatives, I can send I can send their chapter over to their respective relative and say, hey, how's this? Um, yeah, and then after it gets through the beta readers, I'm going to get the sensitivity readers in, which we need because I need to make sure that I'm capturing cultures and groups that I do not belong to, making sure that it's accurate. Like Zora Neale Hurston, like am I being respectful with Zora Neale Hurston, Aiko Gibo, um, who else? Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to bring in the sensitivity readers just to make sure, I'm being respectful and I'm not being offensive at all unintentionally. And then it's going to go to my editor who is in the wings and ready to go. So, um, yeah, it's going to be a beast. My goal is to have this book out by mid-June for Haunted America with Troy Taylor. That is the goal. My goal is to launch the book at Haunted America. Initially, I was going to say Con Carolinas in early June, but I don't think that's going to happen. And if it does, it'll be just like by the skin of my teeth, or skin off the teeth. What is the saying? Um, yeah. So breakfast for dinner's the best. Yes, it is. Yeah. Yeah. So this I've never worked so hard on a book before. Volume 2 might have to wait until next year. I don't know. Um, there is such a huge difference between just writing about theories and personal experiences versus writing about someone else's life, making sure it's all accurate, and then looking at my sources, making sure that there's no bias in my sources, or if there is, understanding where the bias came from. And it's like being back in college. It's like being back in college and I'm writing my thesis all over again. It's it's crazy. So yeah. um Maybe one of these days I can bring in Heather or Katrina. Katrina and I chatted a little bit after my wedding. She's good people. Katrina's very good people. So there's good people in this field. I hope that was my husband because that sounded very weird. Huh. That was a very weird sound. It sounded creepy. That's the thing we've been hearing too. We've been hearing a lot of random noises that don't come from the outside, but come from the inside the apartment. Again, who did I bring home? I don't know. I'm going to try to get a name tonight. We'll see. I love how you credited me in the do's and don'ts in your Spirit Dolls group. I love it. I appreciate you sending me that ahead of time to check. Either way, it was fabulous. So this is another sign that I am very behind. I need to touch up my undercut. Does it? So, but yes, no, Sherry, that was perfect. That was perfect. All right, we're at 4 minutes till the top of the hour. This is a chance to get in one more question. Let's see, I'm just going to check something really quick. All right. Okay. All right. Cool. Enjoy the. Thanks, thanks for stopping by, Henry. I always enjoy your questions. They're always really good questions. Thank you, Sherry. You're too nice. The book's almost done. Yay. It's almost done. Oh man, y'all. I'll be so happy when this book's done, but I'll probably have a really good cry too. Thanks for stopping by, Willa. I really appreciate it. Y'all are awesome. I'm so grateful to have y'all like in around. Like y'all are really cool. So I appreciate you all very much. It's always nice doing these live streams too, because then I can like chat with you all and hang out for a little bit. And thank you all for being patient as I was trying to figure out the Phasma box fail and also being very tired. uh, Lordy, you are not old and boring. Not at all. Far from it. I'm debating. I have 220 words left if I want to hit 2,000 tonight. Do I want to write it? Probably not. Oh, battery low. Good Lord. Guess it's good I'm wrapping this up. Pamela, I'm getting ready to wrap up. I'm so sorry. Donna, yes, I'm looking forward to seeing you next weekend at RavenCon. Yay. Pamela, I'm so sorry. I'm getting ready to wrap up. But we can say hi. We can hang out for like the last 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Sherry, you barked at some kids today. I almost got on to, well, no, I didn't bark at kids, but there was a woman a couple weeks ago who was honking her horn right outside my door because there was a truck that couldn't get through, and I live on a one-way street, and there was another truck blocking, and so no one could get through, but this woman was was honking at the truck in front of her, just like, "Bah, bah," for like 5 minutes. It was obnoxious. Not even 5 minutes. It was like a minute. And I got to the point, I stepped outside and I was like, ma'am, people live here. Can you stop? And she's like, I can't get through. And I'm like, I understand that. The truck is moving. You're going to be able to get through in a minute. And then she just kept honking. And I was like, please stop honking. And she flipped me off. And then she turned her car around and then she drove the opposite way of the one-way street. I was like, yo. So I did come head to head with a woman a couple weeks ago. That was fun. It's also fun living on the ground floor when you have people honking. Hasn't happened again though. Oh, Pamela, yeah. It's good to see you. I will give the kitty some cuddles. Callie's getting old. It's happening. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. But on the plus side, she hasn't cost me $900 this month. So, which is good. Which is good. Um, which means no vet visits this month, but anytime she makes any noise or anything, I'm up and checking on her. So, cool. All right, y'all. I think we are at that time. Thank you all so much for stopping by. Um, hopefully I can get you all um, some video of whatever Phasma box session ends up working out. And hey, Ink, I'm so sorry. I'm getting ready to close out, but the recording will be around too. It's going to be me mainly struggling with Phasma box. But yeah, so I mean, thank you all so much for stopping by and hanging out with me this evening. Hopefully, I can do something like this maybe next month or even next week, depending on book stuff. And I'll see you all next time. All right. Bye, everyone.